So far, we've only used one video track to edit our sequences. Many editors like to work in a more layered view so that higher video tracks work in conjunction with lower ones to create the appropriate effect. In this movie, we'll take a look at how to add and patch tracks so that you can work vertically as well as horizontally. Okay, so I have two sound bites lined up, and I'm ready to insert some B-roll or just video to accompany these interviews. So far, the way we know how to do this is to mark our in and out points. So let me just play through this and find a good part for my video to start.
We have the mentor and the apprentice, Drosselmeyer, Minimeyer.
I'd like the video to start right after he says apprentice, so I'll back up and mark an in after that.
Mentor and the apprentice, Drosselmeyer.
Okay, there's my in point. And then I have my video loaded up, and this is the mentor and apprentice right here. And I have an in and an out, so I'm ready as soon as I disable A1 and A2. So I have a video to video patch, and I'll go ahead and overwrite using the B key. And let's go ahead and take a look.
Mentor and the apprentice, Drosselmeyer, Minimeyer. And that's one of the themes in the story is like, you know, the apprentice is trying to learn.
All right, so we have the B-roll telling the story over the interview, and everything works well. I'm going to Control-Z to undo that, and I'd like to now show how that is achieved by using multiple video tracks. First, I'm going to add a video track. I can either right-click in the timeline and choose New Video Track, or type in Control-Y or Command-Y. And now I get a new video track. And what I need to do is to patch V1 to V2. I can do this by just dragging an arrow, like so. Or I can just hold down long enough and wait for this pop-up menu to come up and then just choose V2. So now I'm going to do the same exact thing. My in point is already set where I'd like to edit that. I have an in and an out in the source. I'll go ahead and press B. And notice that the video is overwritten in the exact same place, but my Tony clip remains intact. In this way, we can see what it looks like with video.
The apprentice, Drosselmeyer, Minimeyer.
Or we can also look at it with just my interview video. By moving this monitor from V2 to V1, I can then play through and just see Tony.
The apprentice, Drosselmeyer, Minimeyer. And that's one of the themes.
To see my video again, all I have to do is move my monitor back up to V2. Now again, a lot of editors like this because they like the flexibility of being able to see both of my video tracks or just one. Let's look at the same thing over here. I'm going to go ahead and play through.
Towards the end, he's able to start, he could do some of the tricks himself, and he's all of a sudden...
Tony kind of stumbles in the middle there, so I'm going to cut that part out, and I want to show you how video can patch over problems like that. So let's go ahead and find the part that we'd like to cut out.
Towards the end, he's able to start,
and right before he says, I think.
Towards the end, he's able to...
Let's just see if that's the part we'd like to take out.
He's able to start...
Okay, just a little bit in.
He's able...
Okay, and I'm going to extract that. So I want to select all of my video tracks and hit X to extract. And we'll go ahead and play through.
Towards the end, he could do some of the tricks himself.
So that works audio-wise, but if you notice, there's a jump cut in the video.
And he could do some of the tricks himself.
So we're just going to use our B-roll, which we'll go ahead and use this B-roll here, to cover up that jump cut. This time, I'm going to determine exactly where I'd like that to go, so let's play through.
He makes mistakes all the time. And towards the end...
All right, I'm going to mark an in right after he says he makes mistakes all the time.
And
about right there. Here's the clip I'd like to edit in. Right there is where I'd like it to end. So we have about an 8.5-second clip. I need to patch this appropriately, so I need to make sure that V1 goes to V2. And let's play the audio here and see what's going on with that. I'd also like to patch my audio. To do that, I'm going to just increase the size of my timeline a little bit. And now I'm going to add some audio tracks. Control U and Control U. And we want to patch A2 to A4 and A1 to A3. You always want to patch odd to odd and even to even because, as we'll discover in a later movie, we'll want to keep left panned or odd tracks patched appropriately, and we'll want to keep right pan tracks or even tracks patched appropriately. So now I've got my video going to V2 and my audio going to A3 and A4. I'll go ahead and overwrite by pressing B. And let's go ahead and play through. Now this music will have to be turned down, which we will explore when we talk about audio mixing. So just try to ignore that for now. Just look at what it looks like.
It's mistakes all the time. You could do some of the tricks yourself.
Okay, and we go back to Tony. Again, we can view Tony only, or if we monitor up to V2, we can see our B-roll. And yes, our music is too loud at this point, but it's great that we were able to get that in there to be in sync with the video, and everything is set up for when we mix that audio. So, as you can see, depending on how you like to work, you may gravitate toward vertical track building to construct your sequences. Now, you'll obviously begin constructing vertically as you start adding effects and titles and more audio tracks, but as far as basic video editing, the choice is yours. Find and develop your own editing style preference.